Welcome to PEP, ready to learn. English is easy, let the conversation turn. It's the Productive English Podcast. Listen to us chat, learn fast. Grab your coffee, take a break. It's time for English to awake.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Productive English Podcast, PEP. I'm Mark.
And I'm Sarah. We are so glad you're joining us today. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready for a deep dive.
You read my mind, Sarah. My shoulders were actually up to my ears. Today we are talking about the one thing no one can escape: stress.
It's a huge topic, isn't it? We usually talk about stress like it's a monster under the bed, something we need to kill or run away from.
Exactly. But what if stress isn't the enemy? What if it's actually a signal we just don't know how to read yet?
That's an interesting shift in perspective. But let's be real. When you're in the middle of a deadline and your heart is racing, it doesn't feel like a helpful signal. It feels like a nightmare.
Oh, I've been there. I remember about 4 years ago, I was managing 3 different projects at once. I thought I was a superhero. I thought I could handle anything.
You were chasing that high-performance high, right?
Exactly. But one morning I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. Not because I was physically sick, but because the thought of opening my laptop made me feel physically nauseous. That was my first real encounter with burnout.
Burnout is terrifying because it's so quiet. It sneaks up on you. For me, it was similar. I was working a job where I felt I had no autonomy. I felt like a small gear in a giant machine that never stopped turning.
That lack of control is one of the biggest drivers of chronic stress, isn't it?
Absolutely. I felt this constant friction between what I wanted to do and what I had to do. I remember sitting in my car for 20 minutes every morning before going into the office, just staring at the steering wheel. I was trying to find the strength to walk inside.
Wow, 20 minutes just to prepare for the day. That shows how unsustainable that situation was.
It really was. My body was telling me something was wrong, but my brain was saying, just work harder, Sarah, be more productive.
That's the lie we tell ourselves. We think more stress equals more success. But science actually shows there's an optimal level of stress. They call it eustress.
Right. Eustress is the good stress. It's that nervous energy you feel before a big presentation or a first date. It's meant to sharpen your focus, not dull your spirit.
But the problem is when we never turn it off. We live in a world of constant notifications and urgent emails. We never give our nervous systems a chance to return to equilibrium.
So, Mark, how did you fix it? After you hit that wall of burnout, what was the first thing you changed?
I had to get serious about regenerative habits. I realized that watching TV wasn't actually resting. My brain was still being overstimulated. So I started what I call the tech-free hour.
1 full hour without a screen in this day and age?
I know. It sounds like a punishment. But for 60 minutes every evening, I go for a walk or I read a physical book. No podcasts, no music, just my own thoughts.
That's creating a buffer, isn't it? A space between the noise of the world and your own peace.
Exactly. It clears out the mental clutter. It's amazing how many urgent problems suddenly seem small when you're just looking at a sunset for 20 minutes.
I've found that physicality was my best medicine. When I'm stressed, my thoughts go in circles. But when I'm running or doing yoga, I have to focus on my breath and my muscles. It anchors me in the present moment.
It's about getting out of your head and into your body.
Precisely. But let's talk about our listeners. For someone trying to master English, stress is a constant companion. The fear of making a mistake, the pressure to understand everything, it's exhausting.
I always tell my students, stress is just a sign that you care. If you didn't care about communicating, you wouldn't feel stressed.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. So the stress of speaking English is actually eustress in disguise.
Yes, it's your brain's way of saying, this is important, pay attention. The goal isn't to be 100% relaxed. The goal is to have the resilience to speak while feeling that nervous energy.
I love that. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the judgment that something else is more important.
Well said. We need to focus on restoration as much as we focus on production. If you don't schedule time to recover, your body will eventually schedule it for you in the form of an illness or a breakdown.
So the secret isn't to work less, but to recover better.
Exactly. Be intentional with your rest. Don't just crash. Actually choose activities that make you feel like you again.
To our community on YouTube, we want to know your stress busters.
Yeah, let's get specific. What is the one thing, no matter how small, that brings you back to your equilibrium?
Is it a specific song, a certain type of tea, a hobby? Tell us in English in the comments.
Use words like sustainable or perspective in your post. We love seeing how you apply these concepts to your own lives.
I'm going to go do some deep breathing now. My neck is still a little tight from this morning.
And I'm going to go for that tech-free walk. Thank you, Shara, for this great chat.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you all for listening.
Stay productive, stay intentional, and please, take care of yourselves.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The talking is through. Hope you learned something new. Don't worry about perfection, just keep the flow.